We're going to start off with a brief introduction video that was pre-recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to ASDA District 2's Pre-Dental Day. My name is Alexandria and I'm currently the Pre-Dental Chair of ASDA District 2. And here we're going to present just some information about what to expect today. So my other committee members will introduce themselves shortly.
Hi everyone, so we're just going to start off with some housekeeping items. So for today's event, if you could just please make sure that your cameras stay on during the event and that you mute yourselves at all times, unless you have a question or one of the proctors asks you to unmute yourself, that'd be great. Please also hold all questions to the end of the presentation. You could write your name in the chat or type your question in the chat and we'll definitely get to that. And with this being an online event, we hope that there will be no technical difficulties, but no worry if your Wi-Fi disconnects, just reconnect as soon as you can and make sure to keep that email handy with all the tracks and the links and just re-enter the Zoom. And then we'll get more into the specific tracks, but you guys should all be familiar that we'll have several sessions running simultaneously. So please just pick the track that is most relevant for you. And no worries, all sessions will be recorded and sent out after.
So I just want to briefly mention what ASDA is. It's the American Student Dental Association. So there's 3 levels of ASDA. You have your local level, which is basically your chapter at school. So for example, I go to Columbia. Columbia is my local chapter. District is the 6 schools in New York and New Jersey for District 2. So we represent District 2 in that manner. And then national is basically everyone else, all of the dental students in the entire United States. And then above that, we have the American Dental Association, which is a form of organized dentistry, which is just groups of dentists who help advocate for the right of dentists nationwide. So here we are right here. We have District 2, New York and New Jersey. And here's all of the rest of the districts nationwide. So there are 11 districts. So nationally, as I mentioned, we have each of the 11 districts. They all have a trustee, which forms the Board of Trustees. And then we have, on top of that, the Executive Council, which is comprised of a president, vice president, and Speaker of the House. And then we also have a bunch of committees who help just carry out ASDA's goals and basically help the organization be what it is. And you can read the mission statement here. So here we are in District 2. We have a very large committee, especially compared to all of the districts. But you can take a look, you can see we have an events team, a media team, chapter development team, and school representatives, and a lot of people involved, lots of great work being done.
Hi, my name is Diana Kim, and I am the programming chair for District this year. I'm a D3 at Stony Brook.
Hi, my name is Annalie. I'm another program.
Oh, I apologize, everyone. I don't really know why that happened. Beep. Of course.
Hi everyone, welcome to ASDA District 2's Pre-Dental Day. My name is Alexandria and I'm currently the Pre-Dental Chair of ASDA District 2. And here we're going to present just some information about what to expect today. So my other committee members will introduce themselves shortly.
Hold on. Once the little speaker bar goes away at the bottom. Nope. Okay, hold on.
Hi everyone, so we're just going to.
I apologize. I don't know why it's going to do this to me. It's going to make me replay the whole video. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna make me replay everything.
Maybe if you put it as a full screen.
Everyone, welcome to ASDA District 2's Pre-Dental Day.
There we go.
My name's Alexandria.
Several sessions.
I apologize. Technical aspects are sometimes
each of the 11 districts.
Not the best.
They all have a trustee, which forms the Board of Trustees.
And the programming chair for District this year. I'm a D3 at Stony Brook.
Hi, my name is Annalie. I'm another programming chair for District 2 this year, and I am a D3 at Buffalo.
Hi again, I'm Alexandria. I am the Pre-Dental Chair for District 2, and I am a D3 at Columbia.
I'm Jess Huang, and I'm a Pre-Dental Association and a D1 at Columbia.
Hi everyone, I'm Zaid. I'm a Pre-Dental Associate for District 2, and I'm a D1 at Columbia.
Jenna is also part of our team. She is another pre-dental associate, and she is a D3 at NYU.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I'm a pre-dental associate, and I'm a D2 at Columbia.
I'm Isabel. I'm a pre-dental representative, and I am an undergraduate student at Stony Brook University.
And finally, I'm Michelle. I'm the trustee, also D3 at Columbia.
So ASDA District 2 has a lot of events this year and every year. As you can see in May, June, and July, even being virtual, we held a lot of events, and we have a lot of upcoming events as well. And you can see the full list at asdadistrict2.com/events.
So I'm just going to briefly touch on the conferences that ASDA offers every single year. So this year, unfortunately, it's going to be virtual, but our District 2 meeting is going to be held on January 9th and 10th. In the past, this is it being held at Lake George. This is Saratoga Springs. It's super fun. It brings together dental students and pre-dentalists from our 6 schools in New York and New Jersey. You basically come together for a weekend at a resort, learn a lot about dentistry, and even though it's virtual this year, it's going to be really great, I promise. So we have National Leadership Conference, which this year is virtual leadership conference, but it will be held November 13th through 15th. It's super fun. It's always in Chicago. You learn a lot about how to be a leader. You learn a lot about career development opportunities, advocacy, everything like that. And you get to explore Chicago, so super fun. Then we have State and National Lobby Day. So if you're in New York, you go to Albany, which is pictured here. And then National Lobby Day each year is in DC, which is pictured here. You go basically on the Hill and advocate for the rights and welfare of dental students. And this year we did have a semi-virtual lobby day where we did speak to senators from our state about a few specific acts, such as student debt and refinancing and the McCarran-Ferguson Act. And then finally, we have the annual session, and annual session is ASDA's governing body. So at annual session, the new executive committee, which is your president, your vice presidents, and your Speaker of the House is elected, and then your trustees are also elected. You also have a ton of fun going around whatever city it's in. This year it was supposed to be Chicago, but in the past it's been Pittsburgh, it's been Anaheim, California, it's been Orlando. They also give out the Gold Crown Awards, which is seen over here. Basically just rewarding chapters for their excellence during the past year. So I highly recommend getting involved with ASDA, going on any and all of these conferences that you can. It's a really great way to meet people and dental students across the nation.
So ASDA has a lot of benefits when you are a member, such as you can attend school ASDA events, there's speaking, training sessions, social events, and also you get ADA disability insurance for free as an ASDA member, which is a pretty great perk that you can activate. There's a lot of other resources as well, such as career and educational resources, the ASDA publications, and a lot of networking opportunities. So it is really beneficial to become an ASDA member.
Okay, so as far as today's schedule is going to go, as you've seen probably in the email tracks, there are 2 separate paths that you can kind of follow as the day goes on. So the Track A sessions are focused for students that have not yet taken the DAT or applied to schools, whereas Track B is for those of you who have already applied and want to learn more about the schools in District 2. However, if you see a session that's offered at the same time that you're still curious about, don't worry. We will send an email with these recordings out so you can, see anything you might have missed.
Okay, and so for session 4, we will be having an optional school-specific networking session, and that's going to be all about the New York, New Jersey schools. We're going to have different Zoom links that you can join and move through the different rooms, and there will be about 2 to 3 students in each room, and you can ask them any and all questions that you have about that specific school. Also upcoming, we will be doing a mentorship program where you will be matched up with a dental student, and this student will be doing a video call check-in and can be an amazing resource for everything related to applications, being a dental student, and any other questions that you may have. So if you didn't indicate on your registration that you would like to join the mentorship program, please feel free to email district2predental@gmail.com.
If you want to, I'm sorry. If you want to stay connected with ASDA District 2, you can follow us on IG at ASDA District 2. Or if you want to know more about the pre-dental events, such as the one going on today, you can follow us at District 2 Pre-Dental. You could also follow us on Facebook, on our website. And if you have any questions, feel free to DM us or send us an email at ASDA predental@gmail.com.
Okay, so I will now switch, slides here, if it lets me. Okay, perfect. And now we will start our presentations.
Okay, so again, I'm Alexandria, and welcome to this pre-dental day. We're super excited to share all this information with you. Again, like Annalie was saying, if you have questions, you can post them in the chat, and then just kind of stick out, this presentation. I'm going to introduce all of the schools of District 2. So like you saw in the introduction video, District 2 is the region of New York and New Jersey. So we have Buffalo, Columbia, NYU, Rutgers, Stony Brook, and Touro. So these are some fast facts about the District 2 schools. I know we received some questions in advance, so we wanted to include some of these kind of bullet point numbers for you to take a quick look at. We'll leave this slide up for a second. I'm not going to rehash and read all these numbers. But, if you want to take a quick note or a screenshot even, I believe this information is also going to be distributed, but again, you'll have the presentation as well. Okay, so in alphabetical order, we are going to start with Buffalo, located way upstate in Buffalo, New York. Their class size average is about 92. Their grading system is graded. And some activities their school enjoys doing are the ASDA Charity Fashion Show, where faculty and students model and design their own lines. And they have an annual booze cruise and golf tournament with faculty and students. So it sounds like a pretty good work-life balance. If Annalie wants to speak on behalf of either of these events, go right ahead.
Yeah, so the ASDA Fashion Show is actually a relatively new event that our student Sehi, who is now 4th year, she started it, and it's for the V-Bay House and other underserved children organizations in Buffalo. We donate all of the money that we receive to that. So you pay an admission fee to get there, and students showcase their talents. And we also just have general lines where it'll be denim on denim, and you can sign up to walk in that line and just wear full denim. It's really cool. The picture on the bottom is the ASDA e-board for our chapter last year on the annual booze cruise, which unfortunately couldn't happen this year because of COVID, but it's a pretty fun event where we tour Buffalo on a boat.
Okay, and I did forget to mention these responses to these questions are from real live student school representatives. So this isn't the information you're going to really be finding online. These are just direct quotes from current students at the school. So some outreach opportunities. There's this organization, BOCA, the Buffalo Outreach Community Association. They've done activities ranging all over from bingo with seniors, OHI or oral hygiene instructions for children, remote medical access trips across the US and abroad. They also are involved with the Special Olympics and the Disability Museum across the street. So a direct quote, why did you choose your school? UB stood out for academics, early hands-on exposure, and the atmosphere. Everyone at the school is extremely friendly and acts as a close-knit family. UB is also ranked among the top 10 dental schools in the nation. And a fun fact about Buffalo, they have a dental school game room used during lunch and a newly renovated pre-clinic. So it looks like right here on the right, you have some students enjoying a game room, good old-fashioned ping pong. Love to see it.
yeah, it's pretty fun.
Okay, up next we have Columbia, my humble home. Our class, we are located in Manhattan, way uptown by the George Washington Bridge. I know, believe it or not, it is still Manhattan. Our class size begins at about 84, and then we get advanced standing students that join. They are internationally trained dentists who join at the beginning or the middle of D2, and they get to do clinical work with us. Our curriculum is pass-fail, not mentioned here, but we are combined with the medical school, so we do take the same classes with the med students, and so we are pass-fail. An activity you can see in these photos is our fall barbecue, which again couldn't happen this year because of COVID, but it's this really fun event put on by the Alumni Association, where we just do a big softball tournament where all the classes kind of verse each other, and faculty, students of all years are there and just have a really good time. Some outreach opportunities offered at Columbia. We have a lot of different organizations. As you can see, we're all here on behalf of ASDA, but we have HSDA, the Hispanic Student Dental Association, and the American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, with all kinds of different opportunities ranging, again, from the hygiene events in the community to reading to children in the PEDS clinic. So a direct quote why someone chose Columbia: everyone really seemed to get along with each other and the students looked genuinely happy to be here. And I definitely agree with that. I know it's gonna be a little bit tough with virtual interviews, but you're definitely gonna be able to get a vibe from these schools. So it's super helpful that you're here today to kind of feel out the energy of these different programs. And okay, here we go. The fun fact about this school is that we're integrated with the med school. So we do take the same classes with the med students, including gross anatomy with a full body dissection. Okay, up next we have NYU, also in Manhattan, more on the Lower East Side. Their class size is quite large at a staggering 380. They are pass-fail, they are graded with rankings with some pass-fail classes. Some activities they enjoy doing are their spring talent show, the All U games between the colleges at NYU, and an annual oral cancer walk. Also, chock full of outreach opportunities. They have pediatric outreach programs that are built into their schedule. And they have local and global volunteer opportunities. And apparently you can even kind of craft your own opportunity abroad or locally. If you have your own ideas and connections, it sounds like they're pretty open to that as well. Why did you choose your school? They are ranked globally in the top 15 and nationally as number 3. They're well-known, respected, established, and also had a great environment and people. Fun fact, they make about 10% of the country's dentists. So I guess with a class size of 380, you can really spread that net. Okay, next we have Rutgers in New Jersey. So Rutgers is the only New Jersey dental school. I'm not sure where all of you guys are from, but maybe we can kind of talk about where you guys are coming from or what interests you about this area if you have any questions. But Rutgers has a class size of about 90 at the start, and then it goes up to about 120 when the international students join. They also have a graded curriculum, and some activities they enjoy doing are the annual gala and the Halloween party. Some outreach opportunities that Rutgers has to offer are international opportunities with the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Native American preservations. Direct quote, why did you choose your school? Because it was affordable and I could also commute from home. So that was another common question we kind of saw in your forms that you filled out. Why did you choose your school? Should you choose a financial benefit versus, an atmosphere benefit? And that's going to kind of come down to you as a person, I think. We can all kind of chime in. I'm sure people will speak on that throughout the day. But to me, I would say go with your gut. I mean, if your gut is telling you the finances is the most important part, consider that and think about your choices in that regard. But if you're ready to just kind of go with the flow of where the energy is or where you see yourself fitting best, definitely don't ignore those instincts as well. Okay, and a fun fact about Rutgers, they have a huge patient pool in Newark. Also, 9 students get selected to participate at a Code 1 program available to D4 students. It's a unique opportunity for people who are not willing to apply to AEGD programs. Students can see 4 to 8 patients a day, have their own rooms and assistants. However, it is necessary to relocate to South Jersey for this experience. So just things to consider. I'm not from Rutgers, so I'm not 100% sure about that. But if you're interested about any of this, again, at the end of the day, you can attend the school specific breakout session and kind of ask to elaborate. Okay, up next we have Stony Brook out in Stony Brook, New York, which I didn't really know where it was, but it's out on Long Island. So we have Diana here in our presentation to maybe speak on behalf, but I'll just start with some of these little fast facts. Their class size is relatively small, capped at about 46 students. They are majority graded, but during COVID, their school was able and willing to adapt and made some switches to pass-fail. Some activities they enjoy doing are the fall wine tour and the spring formal and Super Smash Bros and ping pong between classes. So Diana, if you have anything else to add?
Sure, absolutely. So typically during the year, we have ASDA that hosts a whole week of social events. And some of the things that we do is, you know, the wine tour in the spring, and this is a campfire. So all these pictures are actually from our D3 class. So we had a class campfire at someone's house. This is a picture of all of us at the wine tour and our formal. So I think ASDA has a lot of social activities that are hosted for students. And I think that that's a great way for us to get to know each other and kind of explore the nearby areas. Since we are in Long Island, we don't have quite as much food around as the city, but we make do and we have a lot of fun.
Okay, so some outreach opportunities offered at Stony Brook. D3s can apply for these big trips for 3 weeks in Madagascar, 2 weeks in Chile, and 1 week in Guatemala. So that actually sounds really awesome. And then they also offer weekend trips out throughout rural America in the fall and spring through RAM. Diana, do you know what that stands for?
Yep, it's basically like a remote area mission type of trip that is within the US.
Awesome, thanks. And why did you choose your school? We have affordability because Stony Brook is a public school with mostly in-state students, small class size, and personable faculty. A fun fact about Stony Brook Village is one of the 3 villages on the North Shore of Long Island. Stony Brook moved to its current location in 1962, following 5 years at the old campus in Oyster Bay, and the dental school was later founded in 1968. Well, for the history buffs out there. Okay, and I believe last but certainly not least, we have Toro. Toro is up in Valhalla, New York, so not quite in the city, but just a stone's throw away, honestly. They also said that the majority of their courses are graded, but during COVID, they were kind of able to adapt and switch to pass-fail. Some activities they enjoy doing include pool and ping pong in the student lounge, so trust me when I say that we do make some time for fun activities. You don't have to have your head buried in the books 100% of the time. But they also do, oh my gosh, nice, movie nights. That sounds so fun. They also have some outreach opportunities, including the Mission of Mercy, which is in the tri-state area, as well as community-based volunteering in the immediate area organized by one of their clubs at their school. It could be ASDA or it could be anything else. I didn't really see elaboration there. Why did you choose your school? Someone said, Toro stood out to me because it was the only school that was willing to invest a lot of money, time, and effort into the technological developments that were taking place in the field of dentistry. So for all the tech buffs out there, could be beneficial to kind of see what technology they are offering. Fun fact about this school, Touro is the most recent dental school to open in the US. It was established in 2016, and they just celebrated the graduation of their first class. Woo! They also advocate for modern technology in the dental school curriculum and teach students about 3D techniques in dentistry very early on in their education. So I think that wraps up. I kind of just had some highlights. So we did have a lot of common other questions, and since I kind of flew through that a little bit faster than I was expecting, if anyone has any questions that they think could be answered across the board, or if Annalie or Diana have anything else to say, at the end of this session or the end of the day, you'll be getting an email with this recording, and as well as a flyer that has more questions. So this was just some questions that stood out to me that I thought would be kind of valuable insights for you guys today. But let me see, I can pull up this form. Does anyone have anything to add or any kind of quick questions right now?
Right, no one has anything to add. If Lexi has things she wants to go through, she can. We'll be doing the raffle, and we could also have like an extended break. The break is supposed to be from 10 to 10:15. We can always take a little bit longer. And if you guys want to private message or chat everyone or talk amongst yourselves, you can also do that.
Someone posted a question in the chat.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's cool. We actually, so since we have people on all ends of this spectrum here, so I'll just speak on behalf of Columbia, which is totally pass-fail, which is a recent change. So we used to be pass-fail, and then 90 and above was honors. So our most recent graduating class applied to residencies with that kind of honors option. And the fourth years now are the first class that started with just pass-fail. So I know people might be wondering, oh my gosh, how are residencies going to pick you? Like, are you going to be ranked? This and that. And it seems like our administration is going to do, I mean, I'm sure most schools will, but like a comprehensive assessment of students and kind of submitting that. So I would say for us, the pass-fail is really, really awesome, because it really allows for a supportive and collaborative study environment amongst the entire class. So we have like a Google Drive where people share their study guides, and we have a very active GroupMe where people just kind of ask questions and share little tips and tricks. So it's not like anyone's out to get you, you know, it's not super, super competitive. It's just like, hey, let's all pass this. So I think that that's really, really critical to kind of how I would like to be like in my learning environment. But, you know, again, if you want to go for top of your class and that's your energy, you know, that might not really be matched quite here. But if anyone has anything else to say on that.
Sure. So I'm going to take this from the perspective of coming in as a D1, we were graded. So we were with the medical students as well, taking biochem, anatomy with them, and we were ABC, or ABC fail, I guess. And then through COVID, and at that time, our clinic was pass-fail. So we had didactic courses that were ABC and clinic courses that were pass-fail honors. Now with COVID, pretty much everything has gone to pass-fail to ensure that students with different, you know, living conditions, and like whether, you know, you're commuting from home and you have a lot of family and you're not able to, you know, get secure Wi-Fi or whatever it may be, we have changed into a pass-fail system. So some of the pros for pass-fail, I do agree that we in general have been less stressed when it comes to, you know, the difference between getting an 89 and getting a B in a class than getting like a 91 and getting an A. So I do think it is a lot less stress, but at the same time, I feel like, you know, there are some benefits to being very prepared for a course and getting that A and feeling, you know, really accomplished and really confident in those courses. I think that when it comes to didactics and hands-on activities, every dental student is so different. So some students are more strong academically and some students are better with their hands. So I think the pass-fail system has been working out really great for my class. We've all been really happy to do that. And then in response to, you know, how you're going to apply and whether residencies can, you know, kind of appreciate the different students' abilities, even though everything is just pass-fail, I would say a lot of that has to do with how well you get to know your faculty and also how involved you are in school. So I don't think that grades should be the sole thing that you should focus on. And I think the pass-fail system does that really well.
I would agree. So Buffalo is graded. It went pass-fail during COVID. We're not yet sure if this semester will stay pass-fail, or we had the option. So you could take your grades or you could take pass-fail last semester. And it could go class by class. So if you didn't want to take a B in a class, you could just take a pass. But if you wanted to take a B, you could take a B. So some people took all of their grades, some people took all pass-fail, and either way it was fine. And I think one thing about what COVID has taught everyone, and probably even residencies, is that there's going to be so much, there's going to be such a discontinuous nature of grading between schools, between classes, between everything, that it's probably less important now for the hard grades, whether you are a pass-fail school or an ABC school. And later on, probably applying to residencies, what matters is like leadership ability, extracurricular activities, you know, not failing. You don't want to be failing, of course, but it's not all about the grades. So at first, when I came to Buffalo, I will say that I had wished we were pass-fail. I wouldn't have to, you know, strive for the A as hard. But getting a B in a class also hasn't been the worst thing for my GPA, and I'm not afraid about applying even to a specialty with having a few Bs. And it's very doable to do well in dental school if you study. So if you really want to go to a pass-fail school, that, you know, that might be a big driving factor for you. That's great, but I don't think it is the worst thing in the world to have grades either. I've been plenty comfortable in Buffalo with my grades, so. And then I also want to make a quick note. So any questions that are school specific, we might just have you join that specific school at the end for those breakout rooms from 12 to 12:40 and answer them then, since it will be just students from that school that will be able to give you a better idea. So during this session, we'll just answer, you know, broader questions that we can all help with.
Yeah, I was just going to echo that. I've seen some more questions in the chat, but I guess another good one, considering we're, you know, regional in the district. Someone asked about out-of-state applicants and the transition to New York regarding weather and atmosphere. So I am personally from New Jersey as well. So it wasn't really that crazy for me. I'm like a whopping 40 minutes from my home, but I did end up moving into Manhattan so that I could be really close to campus and not really have to worry about the commute, because those first 2 didactic years are pretty intense. And it was really nice living in like, you know, a 5-block radius with a lot of my classmates. But as far as the weather, we had some students from Florida and from California, and, you know, this was their first time seeing snow, which was really wholesome. But yeah, definitely something to consider. You know, if you know that the cold is not for you, it definitely gets a little chilly and slushy up here in the Northeast. And I'm sure Buffalo is even different from Rutgers, which is different from Stony Brook. So that's a great question though, because you definitely want to see yourself in an environment that, you know, you feel comfortable in, because it's really a 4-year commitment. You know, it's not like undergrad where you can kind of make a quick impulse change if it's not really your vibe. So love to see that. Honestly, I'm a huge atmosphere person, so I was really into the opportunity of living in the city, even if I am in like way upper Manhattan. But anyone else can feel free to add on to that transition if you're from somewhere else.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in Brooklyn, but I went to school in Boston. So the weather and atmosphere was very similar, but I do have to say that one of the things that I didn't really consider is, you know, when it comes to being in Stony Brook, for example, you will most likely need a car, right? So I went from being in Brooklyn, taking the train all the time, to going to Boston, where we pretty much walked everywhere, you know, taking the train, etc. And so that was a transition for me, because that's when I got a car, and I literally just started driving like 2 months before I went into dental school. So something else to consider other than like weather and atmosphere, just more so like the logistics of whether you would like to commute and see your family for support. Like, let's say you're from South Carolina, if that's something important to you, the distance that you would have to drive and whatnot. In Stony Brook, we do have quite a few out-of-state applicants. I know it's a state school, but we have some people from Texas. We have someone, I think now we have someone from Korea as far as that. So I would say, although most of the students are New York, there are, I believe, like maybe 8 of us who are out of state. So there are plenty of people who are able to get into a state school being out of state.
Yeah, to echo that, Buffalo is also, you know, a state school, and we have about 10 students in our class out of state, ranging from California, Kansas, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio. So it's, of course, you have a better shot at getting in if you're from New York State just by sheer numbers, but you can get in if you're from out of state. And I'm from Rochester, which is about an hour and a half from Buffalo, so I'm used to the cold and the slush. Weather up here, if you're not from here, people have said it's a transition, but it's not like the worst thing in the world. Snow is fun. We have snow days sometimes, I guess. Like, that could be fun too, if you don't want to go to school all the time. Yeah, but that's the weather around here, and also out-of-state opportunities. I really like the question about what's our remedial policies. So if everyone doesn't mind if we transition onto that. So for us, it kind of depends on the professor, but like exactly what they do. But generally at Buffalo, if you fail a course, you work out with the professor whether they want you to retake the one exam you failed, or retake a cumulative exam on the class, or get tutoring and then do one certain section. They're usually very understanding. I know several people who have failed classes and had to remediate, and they've all passed at the end of the remediation. If you fail a competency exam for your hand skills, you have the option to retake it twice, and you can then keep going on. What usually happens is that then you receive just a C for the class if it's graded, or just a pass if it's not graded. So that's generally, if you fail a course and then remediate, you'll end up getting a C if it's a graded class, but they'll change it from a U to an S if it's a pass-fail class.
Yeah, so I can speak on behalf of Columbia. So again, this is kind of very school specific, so you can probably get more details if you're curious in the school specific sessions, but our first semester here is in block rotation. So instead of that typical grind you might be thinking of for dental school, where you just have like tests and quizzes and practicals like back to back to back to back, we are in blocks. So it's 5 weeks of material and then like a mini finals week. And it's pretty much as intense as a finals week, even though it's only 5 weeks of material. So in that case, it's 5 weeks of classes and then 1 week of just exams. And if you fail an exam during that week, there's not really a serious consequence. You would go to a review session on Friday to kind of go over what you might have missed on the exam. And then on the weekend, you retake it. So that is how Columbia kind of does it in the first semester. And I believe everything first semester 70 and above is passing. So, you know, if you get anything below 70, that would be, you would need to retake it. And then after that, we have, after that semester, we kind of transition into more of a steady flow of quizzes and exams. It's just a little bit of a different structure. And we have this one course, it's called The Body and Health and Disease, and it's kind of the pathology, physiology, like of all the systems in the body. And that course is a little bit tougher, I'd say. So they do adjust the scale to passing above a 64. And basically, if you fail one of those exams, you wait until the end of that semester and you have to retake that exam. So it's not, again, with the pass fail vibes, it's like not super high stakes. And I'm not saying, you know, you got to skate by with like 71s and 72s. There are people, you know, including myself, you put the work in to, you know, do your best on these tests, but the material and the volume, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but one of the craziest analogies I ever heard was that starting dental school is like drinking water from a fire hydrant. It's not so much that the material is like super difficult. You know, a lot of you in pre-dental courses in undergrad have had exposure to biochem and anatomy and immunology and classes like that. But the sheer volume of material that you kind of have to take in and, you know, produced on an exam is really intense. And so I think when you have that pass fail freedom, it's like you don't have to go necessarily into the minutia as intense, if that makes sense. But yeah, so, you know, it's not super common that people even really fail exams. But if you do, again, it's like no sweat. You know, we're human. You probably will fail one, and it's just, you know, we're all high achievers. And I think when you start school and it's this really intense thing, you know, it's like, don't be embarrassed about it. They know it's a new transition, and, you know, you're not going to get kicked out because you fail a test. So don't sweat the small stuff, I'd say.
I agree. So some of the points that I wanted to make, another big pro to the pass-fail system is if you want to do really well, you can still get those numerical scores that are high, and you can use that to get a letter of recommendation. So just because it says pass under a course, that doesn't mean that your effort and knowledge will get unrecognized, I guess. So just something else to consider. At Stony Brook, to be honest, I don't know anyone in my class who's failed a course. Definitely people have maybe failed one exam here or there type of thing. But in that situation, you would retake the exam, and whether you do better or not, like after you pass the second time, the highest score that you can get is that 70, which is going to be enough for you to pass, but it can't be any higher. So you can't like fail the first time and then get a 90 the second time and keep your 90 type of thing. When it comes to courses in general, when you, let's say you fail a final, for example, you would have to retake a cumulative exam at the end of the course. So typically all of our exams, they're not necessarily cumulative. So you have like unit 1, and that's like on these 3 like sections or systems, so forth. And so if you fail the third exam, for example, you may need to remediate and you may need to take a cumulative exam. So that's the only specific thing that I can think of. Otherwise, there are times when you don't quite make it, you know, like in terms of passing, but we can just retake it, and then you go ahead and pass the course. So I don't know anyone from my class who's failed a course, but definitely there have been some people who have to retake practicals or take courses, classes. So I don't know if that answers the question. I hope it does. And if anyone has any other questions, definitely the Columbia interview question is something that maybe you can answer in, yeah, Alexandra, perfect. You guys can ask during the Columbia specific one, but if anyone else has any other questions, feel free to chat in the box. We do have a couple of more minutes. Yeah. Anyone else?
So just some other, you know, if you can't think of anything spur of the moment, some other answers that you will be hearing when we send out this handout, things about typical clinic hours, if the school has TAs, how you kind of work and flow with other classes like D1s, D2s, D3s, and D4s. If you have a library, kind of like Diana was saying, if you drive or commute, or where you kind of live around campus, and like places to eat. So again, it's kind of like the information from a student's perspective that you're not really going to find like on Google per se. So if you have any other general questions like that. And again, if they become a little bit more school specific, you can definitely attend the sessions at the end. So yeah, I was gonna say, I think we can go with the,
yeah, I think it's time to do the raffle. Well, first off, there's a DAT Bootcamp code for $70 off a 90-day subscription that any of you can use. And you'll also be emailed all of these slides. So, but the code is ASTA District 2 PDD 20. Sorry. Don't listen to what I say, listen to what's on the screen. And then we are raffling off a $10 Amazon gift card, and drum roll, please. The winner for that is, I'm sorry if I pronounce anyone's name wrong, it is Cheyenne Khan. So, woo!
Thank you, thank you.
Yay! So you will be contacted after as well and have the gift card sent to you. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Is there a time limit on when I can redeem that, or is that just constant?
Good question. I think you'll get an email with it, and you probably have a lot of time you just have to add it to your account if you have an Amazon account, and then it doesn't expire once it's added to your account. So as long as you open the email and add it to your Amazon account, it's all good. All right, and then we are also, nope, just kidding. That's the only raffle we're doing right now. You all have to wait for the next one. Woohoo! Okay, so we're going to stop recording. You can turn your videos off if you want, or you can stay and chat with each other, but we are going to have a break until 10:15. Please come back on time. Go grab a snack, coffee, whatever, and we will see you for the next presentation at 10:15. And also, follow us on Instagram, please. Everyone, we want District 2 to be the most followed Instagram account because we are the biggest and best district. Definitely biased, but please follow us on Instagram. Also, go visit our website. It has a lot of great information, tells you about all the events we're having. So yeah, there we are.
Oh my gosh, as you can see, I'm obsessed with this blouse. It's my favorite dental school blouse. It's in my headshot. It's in my pre-dental day. Listen, fake it till you make it. If you need one great blouse, it'll get the job done. That's what I'm saying.